I know that they do similar, they do outings or they do group birthday parties and all that for families, and it's great. And they would have to, a group like that would have to negotiate it, of course, with the village and their staff and Mr. Brinkman. But
Kevin, how did this come up? How did this?
The Sioux Falls program is similar to this. Actually, the gentleman that's running it bought a bowling alley over there. And I believe our local facility was approached. And of course, as a private entity, he has a choice of who he wanted to do business with. And he mentioned it to a city person, and that person relayed that to me, and I called him, and he offered it. And here we are. I thought, what a tremendous opportunity for the people of Mitchell.
I had several questions come to me, and basically I just want to clarify these for everyone, including the public. One thing that was brought up is, and I haven't had a chance to look through all the finances, so I would like to have you address it if you would, please. Is the golf course at this time self-sustaining and not receiving any subsidy? Because it is one thing that was asked of me today.
We still have a reserve fund, and we are covering our expenses, yes.
And it is not receiving any subsidy from the taxpayers.
That's right. And if you look around the state, there are a lot of public courses getting $200,000 to $400,000 annually to subsidize their golf courses. And I can very proudly say we went a lot of years not costing this city a dime.
Okay, I appreciate
The only thing that I'll add to that is every once in a while, if we have large capital purchases, then internally we may borrow from one fund and another, but Kevin builds into his budget to make for sure that that does get paid back. And I don't know, as far as the golf carts, have we got that all paid off now,
Nope.
Kevin?
I believe we have a payment left,
One.
one or two payments.
So that might be why it has have come up, that they may see that there was in between funds, but the golf course itself is self-sustaining. But you can't expect to purchase a large item and then have the cash for it, and that's what Kevin does is in
And
the future.
that's a lending process, basically,
Yeah.
is what it
Yes.
is. But I want to make this clear that's how it was being done.
It is.
And I wanted to make it sure that that's how it's still being done, and I want to make sure that that is clear to the public.
And the 2016 budget was made with fees, and as good as we could look in the crystal ball of, we put fees for whatever we can do. Hopefully we have good weather and members that we're only spending the amount that we think we can generate through fees and use.
Thank you.
You know-
Okay, another thing that came up, and I've read through many of the pieces of information on the Great Life that is now available to the city employees, and I believe that that is available because we use what was Dakota Care and is now Avera.
Correct.
And therefore, it allows all of our city employees to take advantage of the Great Life program as well.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Then another thing that I was asked to address is, will the city be doing any advertising, so to speak, for the village?
Pardon me?
Will the city be doing any advertising for the village?
This will be advertised with the Park and Rec and the golf course advertising for the year, and yes, we will mention bowling.
Kevin, you're not going to advertise for the village
No.
bowl per se.
We're going to be promoting
Just the benefit.
package. Yes,
Correct.
in this package, correct.
All right. Thing you for addressing all of those.
And one
Thank you
thing
very much.
one thing, if I may add, the golf course belongs to the city and the taxpayers and the council and the mayor. It's not my golf course. I manage it. I do the best I can, but it still belongs to the people of Mitchell. And if sometime, maybe not in my career, but down the road, if the city chooses to subsidize that golf course, it belongs to the taxpayers. I just wanted to say that. Excuse me. Thank you. Any other questions I can answer?
I think all of this came about in considerations for trying to, for city government not being a competitive force against our private entities.
Yeah, I also received two calls in that same light, not necessarily related to bowling actually, but that the city rec center and golf course having a reaction to the Great Life promotions, et cetera, teaming up and acting or presenting like we're going to try and exactly compete against them. I understand that view, and I have the concerns of the city competing against private entities all the time. And I don't think we should get into them, but the entities of the golf course and the rec center existed before any of the other current Great Life partnerships existed. And so while it might be in competition with some of them, to me, this gives a win-win situation for promoting wellness and fitness and getting people out and active.
To add to that, the law specifically allows and provides for the city to maintain and operate a system of public recreation and amusement. And now if there's it's pretty broad, and there's recreation and amusement everywhere in the private sector.
I have a statement and a question. My statement is, we're a little schizophrenic because on the one hand, we want the golf course to pay for itself, and we want the rec center to pay for itself, and we want the Corn Palace to pay for itself, and so forth and so on. The swimming pool, we hope pays for itself, and so forth. And then on the other hand, we say, well, gosh, we shouldn't, compete with anybody. I can see the advantage for us, but if I were the Village Bowl, and maybe you're not the one, maybe Steve's the one to answer this, this sounds crazy to me for $2,500 to give people free bowling.
We were one of the Village Bowl's biggest competitors, the city, with the summer programs of recreation, summer programs of golf and youth golf. One of the reasons his facility is open most of the summer is they're out taking advantage of city opportunities. And this is, he thought, an opportunity for him to work with us and work with the citizens of Mitchell to provide quality of life. And that's one of the reasons he approached us. He has always felt we are a strong competitor to him as a businessman, always. And now he sees an opportunity.
I got to tell you, I honestly thought the $2,500 was a misprint.
I don't, in my discussions with,
Council, please.
I guess I kind of followed that up a question, and I know because my kids had the Village Bowl cards for the summertime.
Right.
They're still offering, they could get a free line of bowling once a day if they brought their card in and had
Yeah,
it.
actually, I've been here 28 years. This will be my 28th year. And about 25 years ago, what's that? I'm old. I should be retired, but I'm not. About 25 years ago, I started a program in Mitchell that actually became a nationwide program. I'd heard one other guy doing it, and then it just spread nationwide. It was called Say No to Drugs, Say Yes to Bowling. And what it was these cards that we handed out to every school-age child from kindergarten through high school, actually before kindergarten, preschool. And they could come and bowl one game a day with free shoes all summer long. Actually, we did it June and July. August, we're preparing for our leagues and things like that. And it's to create traffic, get the kids off the streets, and expose them to bowling. And my reasoning behind that was, I may not get these kids when they graduate from high school or college. They may move down the road. But somebody says, you want to bowl in a league? Yeah, we used to do that in Mitchell in the summertime. It's just marketing is all it is. And it's been very successful. As a matter of fact, although it has dropped off a little bit, we've gone to 2 games a day, and we wanted more kids to come in. But it's like Kevin said, my biggest competition is the city. You drive around and see the soccer fields and the hockey and all this kind of stuff. But we're given 2 games a day, and we get between 100 and 300 kids a day in the summertime in our bowling center for nothing. And I'm not completely stupid on it. Our ancillary income went up 84%, okay? Video games, pop, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So then I've been kicking this idea around in my head for years about doing something with the city, never approached the city on it or anything, but then I've been watching Great Life with great interest over in Sioux Falls, and I know Tom Walsh. And I saw him doing the golf course thing, and I knew how he got into Spring Creek and all that, or Willow Run, and why he got in there and stuff, and I knew the history behind it. So I was watching him. I was often wondering why bowling wouldn't work with that. And then Tom bought Suburban Lanes, and he had Empire Lanes signed up with him. So I actually called Tom one day, and I says, what's the program? I mean, is it something I might be interested in? My biggest problem that I had when I called Tom was I play Lakeview. I have loyalty to Kevin. I have loyalty to the city of Mitchell. And so I discussed Tom, what was going on in his situation, and he made some offers to me, and I declined. I wanted to see what the other opportunities were, so we came to the city and talked to some of the guys, and they said, we'd love to have you if it's something we can do. Mel, the situation is we put them at times that we have lanes available typically. Now, we do have organized open play like our rock and bowl and things like that. That wouldn't come under these times. But, from noon to 6, pretty void time. I gave all day Friday. We do have a few leagues on Friday night. But, Friday night's a family night. They can come out and do that. Saturday from 1 to 6, because in the evenings on Saturday, it's a very busy time. And then after 6 o'clock on Sundays, because we have a lot of birthday parties and that sort of thing on Sunday afternoons. It comes down to, I'm not looking at the money into the things. As a matter of fact, the money that I'm getting from the city is going to go into a tournament fund to draw more teams into our community to spend the nights. And I've already talked with the Sports Authority, and they helped me on a couple of those deals too. But it's all about exposure. This really doesn't cost me a lot. I'm paying for the payroll anyway. The people are standing there. I will get some shoe rental out of it. It's off times. I want the exposure. I want people coming in the door. I want to talk to them about joining our bowling leagues. Our bowling leagues in the history of bowling right now have gone down tremendously nationwide. Bowling is a very difficult sport to make money in. So instead of getting somebody to bowl 33 or 34 weeks a year like we used to do in our bowling leagues, before cable TV or internet or anything, that's all you had to do. This place was packed, and all the bowling centers in the United States were packed. But all these things have been coming up. So people would come and they'd both sign up for a 32, 33-week league. That's great. And I had, double shifts every night. It was great. Well, all these other options are out there now. So and these people are quitting bowling. So instead of having them come bowl 33, 34 weeks a year, we want to increase them from bowling 1 or 2 weeks a year, just open bowling, to come in 5 or 6 or 10 times a year. So we want to give them that reason to do that. And to tell you the truth, if you have a pass to the rec center in Lakeview and you and your wife want to come bowling, you might get another couple that comes bowling that doesn't have that pass. So I'm getting my investment right there, my return on investment on this. And I just think it's another reason I wanted to do this is keeping the money in the community. I'm making myself sound great, but it's selfish reasons. I want to increase my business. I want exposure. I want more people coming through my doors. The ancillary income is a big deal too.
Now, the other point is these times are going to have to be sacred, because the first time there's a birthday party during one of these times, I'm going to get a call. I had this membership. They said I could come, and now they told me today I couldn't.
No, but these times are not reserved just for the organizations, for your organization. No. If we have people willing to pay to bowl at that time, it's based on lane availability. So if I have birthday parties, or if I have a group in there that's got 16 of the lanes, and the other 8 lanes are filled, I will give the free bowling. I hate calling it free, but give the value bowling to these people when a lane is available. But no, if we have organized play going on at that time, or if somebody has a birthday going on at that time, the lanes are not reserved just for your program. I want to be clear on that. Right. It's when the lanes are available that they can have them.
I think Kevin will have on his membership form an advisory to call ahead if you want to be sure.
Yeah, what we'd like to do is have them call ahead to make sure that lanes are available, but we will not take reservations, because I don't want to hold 2 lanes open for somebody that's got a pass when a family of 4 wants to come in and bowl. But if the other people are there already bowling, I'm not kicking them off either. So yeah, but they're not exclusive for that group. Any other questions for me? Thanks.
Thank you. Just one thing I would like to say, our rec center was also contacted to go into competition directly with your golf course. And now that it's looking a little bit the other way, and it's not a good deal now for us to do it, but it was okay to.
Now, say that again.
Well, we were approached also to take over the rec center and the golf course.
Someone else approached
Yes.
you?
an outside entity and franchise, and that was a good proposal, but the same people are saying this isn't a good proposal.
That would not be appropriate.
And as far as availability, I think Carl did a very good job of addressing that in the contract too, so.
So how much extra is it gonna cost me to get bowling that I might not be able to do? On my membership? Because
Oh,
that's the call I'm anticipating. I paid an extra 50 or $100, and every time I go, they've got something going on, and I can't get in. That's the call I'm anticipating.
Can I make a comment on that also? I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have the very same issue when I buy an annual pass at the golf course and I go out there, there's a golf tournament.
Mhm.
I paid to play on the weekends, and now every weekend there's a golf tournament.
Right.
Same issue. Yeah.
I'd be interested, how much extra?
Elena Bowling, I believe is.
No.
$3.
I'm going to buy this value thing. How much is the value thing compared to just a regular?
We don't have bowling broke out in that. It's
No,
rec
I
center.
understand. But I'm assuming that if I belong to the rec center, it's one fee.
Mhm.
Then if I decide I want to belong to the rec center and the golf course and now the bowling, there's an additional fee. It's
Yes,
not
if
the
it's a
same.
joint, I have
So what is that? I can't remember what it,
We have developed several programs. Still hope I've got that here with me. Oops.
maybe I'm not being clear. If I go to Burger King and I get the regular size, it's one price. If I want the medium, it's 75 cents more. If I want the large, it's $1.75 more. That's all I'm asking. What's the difference between a
yes.
regular?
We have different package rates. We have an executive membership that includes the single adult rec center, golf and cart use and bowling. And then we have
Okay, so how
a
much is
single
that?
fun package. Okay. For a single adult would be $100.30 a month. For
And
the
if I
golf.
just belong to the rec center,
If you just want to belong to the rec center,
yeah, and that's it.
we don't have that package. No.
That's not available to me anymore? I can't just be the rec
Oh,
center?
yes, it is.
No, I understand. I'm just looking for the difference, that's all. I mean, I didn't realize this was going to be this hard.
Yeah. But that's city employees also.
I don't want to buy them all individually.
You can still buy,
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's going to be people who are just golfers, and then there's going to be the package. There are going to be
And
people
we
just
still
rec
have
center, and I'm
those-
just asking, is it worth my while? Is it an extra $3? Is it an extra $300 if I do the package? That's all I want to know.
there is no,
There's no extra charge for bowling.
He wants-
Sorry. Here's this. Here, Mel.
I understand. What is the difference between a regular rec membership and something with all the extras? What's the
This
difference?
is it. Okay, this is it. There it is.
I'll let you-
I was gonna say,
So
Okay, so it's $50.
Right.
$55.
if you do the family, are you?
No, right here, the difference between single fitness and the thing, it's $55 a month. That's all I want to know.
Okay, it's $50. That's exhausting.
I'm sorry, Mel, I missed,
No, that's
I
fine.
missed the point. I missed the point. I'm sorry.
Susan, you must have all of it there. Will you tell me, if you've got it all in front of you, what is a rec center? What is a golf? What is a rec and golf? What is rec, golf, and village?
Okay, yes, I will be happy to tell you, but, okay. If you,
Yes.
single fitness monthly is $12.50. Golf only is $25. Oh, okay, never mind. You don't want the information from me. Billy, do you have it? Oh, okay. These are for the city employees.
City employees.
I can forward it to you.
I just thought you had it too. Yeah. I was gonna say, I could go scan it in.
There it is. I'm sorry. Okay.
Are you B. Robinson at City of Mitchell?
I hope you don't need a Coke.
Okay, I just sent it over to
15 minutes times 3 right now.
you. No, I'm always so nervous and I go, wait, stop, don't say anything else.
I got flustered, I'm sorry.
Well, I'll just say while they're looking, I recognize that one of the concerns that we have all heard from people in the community expressing concerns about us going into business with other private entities, but we had a conversation, Dan and I, and we could think of many situations where the city is in business with a private enterprise. And I remember when Dusty when the Park and Rec Board wanted to have either Sanford or Avera do their program, their Power Up program, or whatever it was called. That was a situation not unlike what we're doing here. And so it's not like we're setting some new precedents. It's not like we're, suddenly doing something that's never been done before. I think that this is
You can procure it by our record.
sure.
You can lease the land of the golf course.
Sure.
See if I can give you the answer you're looking for.
Okay.
There it is.
I was going to say,
Hallelujah.
well, you wanted a breakdown of,
I was just too single. I'm not even sure I can.
What's the difference?
a single rec center membership is $31.83. A couple's membership would be $37.91. Family would be $43.25. And then if you're looking at golf, a single membership, $41.25, and then if you add $32.50 for the cart, that's kind of how that breaks down.
One of the comments I got today with visiting with somebody, and they were not in favor of this, but as the longer we talked, there was just different things that came up. And one of them is if we're going to move forward with the golf and the rec center, would it make sense to maybe package all of our fees together into one, for instance, like the swimming pool or
Yeah, we have the family.
the outdoor swimming pool?
Yes, yes.
Oh, it is on there.
Yeah, pool.
Oh, I was assuming the pool was the new pool.
No.
And then the outdoor pool, that'd be nice.
Oh.
We'll doctor that so that we don't have confusion. I can see that needs to be done. I thought that was the indoor pool also.
Yeah.
But if it's the outdoor pool, it's say so. And I'll help Kevin.
And I did also hear comments, as we probably all did, as far as competing, with the private industry. And again, we talked about some of the things you have brought up, and we all know that when we did that TIF, that we had some two individuals the TIF that went out on the interstate with the new wellness center, but then there was two individuals that invested into Mitchell, and are we competing against now all of the wellness? And I reminded everybody of and the paper too of, if you think back, we had a defunct YMCA, and we did not have any wellness in town. And at that point, the city came forth, and none of us were on council, I don't believe. Jerry, you weren't either, I don't think. It was a long time ago.
1991 or 2, somewhere.
91 or 92. So people got to keep that in mind, is the fact that when we went into this business, it was the only option people had in town, and we kept it alive. And since then, and thank God that we've got people that wanted to invest in the community, because it's becoming more and more people want to exercise, and that's great. But we have to step back, I think, and realize that maybe we are competing today, but we salvaged the only center in town, and since then have invested heavily into it because that's what our members wanted. And they expect to have good equipment, and now they've got options, no question about it. But, Steve brings it up periodically, is should we or shouldn't we? And I always remind people that we were subsidizing it for years because it was the only option. And so that is something I think people should remember or try to remember.
I'm going to move to approve.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by
I've got-
saying aye.
Wait a minute. Steve,
Make sure in section 6 that we take care of the typos. It says member equal S email
Okay.
and member equal S email.
Oh, that's, that's resulting from, I sent another draft, that results from a, ambiguity from, converting
Software
from
bug?
S6 to Word. I sent Cindy a
Okay.
Word correction with all the anomalies out of it. And I
Just
thought that's what was
want to make
here,
sure
but,
it doesn't cause any confusion.
What-
it's, that's why those anomalies are in there. I thought the second version with those anomalies.
We had a motion, we got a second. Is there any further discussion?
I would like to add one more thing, and I know Steve is owner. I don't know any percentages or so forth, but I would recommend that we would get a corporate resolution to make for sure that the corporation gives him the authority to sign this contract. Just to make for sure. And then the other thing is, and this is probably a Carl question, is, you know, if by chance the village is ever sold in the next 3 years, does this contract stay alive until the 3 years is complete? Does it have to, I'm assuming it would have to
You
follow?
would have to follow, yes.
Mhm.
Just like their bills.
Okay.
Obligation. If they sell assets and go out of business, then we're out of business too.
That's the only.
Right, we can't control that, but if it sells to somebody else and they say, well, I'm not going to follow this contract,
It'd have to.
If it's a stock sale, you understand all that. That's, our agreement is with this corporate entity.
Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is action on resolution number 3327, amend resolution number 3323, providing for a salary schedule for the officers and full-time employees of the city of Mitchell, South Dakota.
Okay, in your packet was included a amended resolution for setting the salary schedule for 2016. Due to the ongoing negotiations with AFSCME, we are adjusting the resolution so that those positions that are shown, we kind of had to change the format a little bit because before some of the positions in various contracts were kind of intermingled together. So that's why this looks a little bit different. But those positions that are covered by the AFSCME contract are being reverted back to the 2015 rates. All of the other ones remain unchanged from the previous resolution that the council acted on.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourned.